The invention of phone. Introduction. Before the late 19th century, instant long-distance communication was a dream. Messages traveled by letter, telegraph, or shouting across vast distances. Then, with a crackle and a voice, everything changed. A device emerged that would shrink the world, allowing human voices to travel across miles of wire, connecting people like never before. Welcome to History and Inventions, where we explore the innovations that shaped our world. Today, we're dialing into the fascinating story of the invention of the phone. How a revolutionary device transformed communication and brought the world closer. Chapter 1. Whispers Through Wires. Early Concepts and Precursors, 17th to 19th centuries. The idea of transmitting sound over distance isn't new. For centuries, people experimented with acoustic devices like string telephones, as early as the 17th century with Robert Hooke's acoustic telephone. The real leap, however, required electricity. The success of the telegraph in the mid-19th century proved that electrical signals could carry messages over vast distances, but it was limited to dots and dashes, Morse code. Inventors across the globe began to ponder, could electricity carry the human voice? In 1849, Italian immigrant Antonio Meucci demonstrated a teletrofono to connect his basement to his bedroom to communicate with his sick wife. He filed a patent caveat, an intention to patent, in 1871, but couldn't afford to renew it. In 1854, Frenchman Charles Bourseul theorized about transmitting speech electrically. In 1861, German physicist and inventor Johann Philipp Reis built a device he called a telephone, which could transmit musical tones and some speech, though it was often unclear and lacked practical application for continuous speech. These early attempts were crucial steps, proving the concept was possible, but a commercially viable solution remained elusive. Chapter 2. The Race to the Patent. Bell, Gray, and the Breakthrough, 1870s. The 1870s saw a heated race to invent a practical telephone, driven by the desire to send multiple telegraph messages over a single wire, harmonic telegraphy, and the burgeoning field of electrical science. Two key figures stood out. Elisha Gray, an American electrical engineer who was working on a liquid transmitter for transmitting voice. Alexander Graham Bell, a Scottish-born inventor and teacher of the deaf, Bell had a deep understanding of sound and acoustics. He was also working on a harmonic telegraph to send multiple messages over one wire. The story famously reached its climax on February 14, 1876. Both Bell and Gray filed patent documents for their telephone designs on the very same day, with Bell's application arriving hours before Gray's caveat. Just weeks later, on March 10, 1876, Bell made history. Speaking into his device, he uttered the now famous words to his assistant, Thomas Watson, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." It was the first successful transmission of intelligible human speech over a wire, proving his design worked. Bell was granted U.S. patent number 174,465 for the telephone on March 7, 1876. Chapter 3. Early Adoption and Rapid Expansion, Late 1870s, Early 1900s. The initial public reaction to the telephone ranged from awe to skepticism. President Rutherford B. Hayes, after seeing a demonstration, reportedly asked, "That's an amazing invention, but who would ever want to use one of them?" He couldn't have been more wrong. In 1877, the Bell Telephone Company, later AT&T, was founded. Early telephones were often sold in pairs for point-to-point communication. Soon, the need for wider connectivity led to the invention of the telephone exchange by Tivadar Puskas in 1876 and the first commercial switchboard in New Haven, Connecticut, in 1878. Operators, mostly women, connected calls manually, becoming the iconic voice of the early telephone era. The telephone quickly transitioned from a novelty to an indispensable business tool, then a household necessity. By 1900, there were nearly 600,000 telephones in the U.S. alone. Chapter 4. Evolution of the Device and Network, Early 20th Century, 1980s. The early 20th century saw continuous improvements in telephone technology. The handset. Early phones often had separate components for speaking and listening. By the 1890s, consolidated candlestick phones appeared, and by the 1920s, the combined handset became standard. Rotary dial, invented by Almond Stroger in 1891 to bypass switchboard operators, the rotary dial slowly replaced manual operators for local calls. Automatic exchanges. By the 1920s, mechanical automatic exchanges began to replace human operators, vastly improving speed and privacy. Touch-tone dialing, introduced in the 1960s, push-button dialing replaced the rotary, using tones instead of pulses to route calls, making dialing faster and enabling new services. Transcontinental and global calls. In 1915, Bell made the first transcontinental call from New York to Watson in San Francisco. Submarine cables and later satellite technology extended telephone connectivity across oceans, making global communication a reality. Chapter 5. The Impact: A Connected World. The invention of the phone irrevocably transformed human society. Instant communication. It eliminated the constraints of distance for real-time conversations, revolutionizing personal relationships, emergency services, and business. Economic growth. It spurred the growth of massive telecommunications industries, creating jobs and fostering global commerce. Social change. It changed social etiquette, facilitated remote work, and reshaped urban development. Foundation for future tech. The telephone network laid the groundwork for future communication technologies, including modems, the internet, and eventually, the cellular phone. From Bell's first words to Watson to the smartphone in your pocket, the telephone's journey is a testament to human innovation's power to connect us all. Conclusion. The invention of the phone is more than just a technological triumph. It's a story of how a single device could shrink our vast world. From the ambitious dreams of early pioneers to the iconic first words transmitted by Alexander Graham Bell, and then to the vast global network we rely on today, the telephone has fundamentally changed how we live, work, and interact. It turned distant whispers into immediate conversations, making our modern, interconnected society possible. What do you think is the most significant way the phone has changed daily life for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this compelling journey through communication history resonated with you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to History and Inventions at History Inventions, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next fascinating story.